Your holy name alone can render all benediction to living and beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Okay, would someone like to read next?
Sure, I can read. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahasrana amaninena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Kashish Mataji, you want to read?
Ji, Hare Krishna. न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vipul Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Oi nanda tanuja kinkarang patitang mang vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tapapada pankaja sitadula shodrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, Vishal Prabhu, happy to see you. Want to read? And then Raman Prabhu can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Nayanam galad ashrudaraya Baddanam gadgada rudhaya gira Pulakir nichitam vapu kada Tava nama grahanna bhavisyati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wants to read? Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Yes. युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषु प्रविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्द विराहे न मे. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
Ashlishva padratam pinastumam Adarshanam marmahatam karotu va Yatha tatha va vidhatu lampato Mat prananathastu saeva paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shri Chaitanya Shri Shtastakam Ki Jai. So we covered the whole nectar of instruction once. So now we'll read again 2 verses. Anyone wants to read the first verse?
I like to read Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jivva vegam udaropastha vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhira sarvam pimam prithvim sashishat. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Thank you. Haribol.
Yes, next verse. Anyone? Vani Mataji, you want to read?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna devotees. Attahara prayasascha prajalpo niyam magraha janasangascha laulam cha shabdhir bhaktir vinashyati. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the spiritual rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating the worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6. Being greedy for mundane achievements. Horrible.
So who all remember the 6 items which are not conducive? Bhaktir vinashyati.
Eating more than necessary.
Eating more than necessary. Okay. Anyone else would like to share one more item?
Association, Prabhu. Associating with the wrong people.
With wrong or janasangas, worldly people. Okay. So we need 4 more.
Talking unnecessarily about materialistic or mundane things.
Very nice. Prajalpa. Very nice. That's 3. We need 3 more.
Accumulating more than required.
Accumulating more than required or over endeavoring. So the Sanskrit word is prayasascha. So over endeavoring for mundane things. So atyahara basically includes eating more than necessary or accumulating more than necessary. And the prayasas is the next one, which means over endeavoring. Prayas means endeavor, but over endeavor is not good. We have to do the right endeavor, dutiful endeavor, but over endeavoring leads to attachment and difficulty. What else? 2 more. We just read.
Mundane popularity.
Atyahara prayasascha. We discuss atyahara, we discuss prayasas. Prajalpa, gossip. Niyam agraha. So niyam agraha has 2 meanings actually. Niyam agraha, niyam agraha. So following do's and don'ts, like for the sake of following do's and don'ts. Not understanding the spirit behind them. So too much strictly following those without the spirit is also not recommended, and not following any do's and don'ts, and having a very chalta attitude, like lax attitude, also is not good. So these are the 2 aspects of niyam agraha. Janasangas, we discussed that to avoid material association. Janasangascha lolyam cha. Lolyam. So what does lolyam mean here?
Greed.
Greed. Material greed.
Material greed.
Material greed. Shadbhi. Shad means 6. Bhakti vinashyati. Vinash ho jayega. So these 6 things are unfavorable for spiritual life. Now you may wonder, are there some favorable things also? Yes, we discussed some favorable things in the first verse. Now who all remember what we discussed in the first verse, favorable things? It talks about controlling the urges. Vegam. Vega means urge. Veg also means speed. So the urges come with speed. The urge to express anger, right? So it comes with a speed. So what are the urges one should
Urges of
control?
this to speak, to belly and mind. Vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivva vegam. So urges of the tongue. I'll let others speak.
Oh, you're on mute. Yeah, Mataji.
Yes, I'll
Did you
let others
complete?
speak.
Okay. 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 So who would like to tell which Mataji hasn't not covered? She said about this the speaking. She said about the mind, anger, tongue. What else?
Genitals.
Genitals. What else? One is missing. Damodara, the month. Damodara. Udar. Udar is belly. Yes, Swati Mataji mentioned. So, tongue, belly, and genitals, they fall in straight line. It starts with the tongue. If one's tongue is controlled, that means one is not speaking bad, one is speaking Harikatha, chanting holy names, and eating regulated Krishna Prasad, then naturally belly and genitals will also be controlled. One more verse we will read because these are the nice do's and don'ts. So let's read the third verse, which also talks about the 6 do's. His second verse talks about the 6 don'ts. So let's read the 6 do's. Okay, anyone wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
उत्साहान् निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् सङ्घत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते सद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीद्यति. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. First, being enthusiastic. Second, endeavoring with confidence. Third, being patient. Fourth, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Fifth, abandoning the association of non-devotees. And sixth, following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Utsaha, enthusiasm. We should have a lot of utsaha. Therefore, Krishna has given a lot of utsavas. Utsav. Festivals, Damodar Leela, Purushottam Mas, Kartik Mas, Bahulashtami, so many appearance and disappearance days of Krishna's incarnations and devotees. So we should be very, very enthusiastic in our devotional service. Nishchaya, with steadiness, with endeavor, with confidence, not maybe I'll try if possible. Okay, that means when our boss says, hey, I want this work to be done by next Friday, we don't say maybe, okay, I'll see, okay. We say, okay, yes, sir. Right? So in material life, we are very enthusiastic. I'm very, very confident and enthusiastic in material life, but in spiritual life, that's missing often. Dharya. With utsaha and nishcha, one should be patient as well because spiritual life is a gradual process. So we have to continue, not just for 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 months or 1 or 2 years. It's a lifetime or lifetimes of process. Tat karma pravartana. Act according to the direction of Guru Sadhu Shastra, regulative principles. Then Sangatyagat. So see, this is very important. It's coming here also, Jana Sangas. It is bad. And here also it's coming in the like don'ts. Sangatyaga. That means give up the bad association. So it's so important. It's Rupa Goswami is repeating twice in this adjacent verses. Sato Vritte. We just read yesterday as well. Sattva. What does sattva mean? Being in sattvena pratilabhyaya. So we discussed that. So sato vritte, by following the footsteps of previous acharyas. Shadbhir, same. Bhakti, prasiddhyati. It will grow, it will expand, it will lead to pure success. Okay, we'll just read 2 verses of Bhagavad Gita because I don't know where we stopped yesterday. Okay, let's read from here. Actually, these are 50. Yes, let's read these 2 verses today. Anyone wants to read has not read? Go, Prabhu. Yes.
I can read. Hare Krishna. Bandhur atma tamanas tasya yenatmai vatmana jita anatmanastu satruvattuve varattatmaivat satruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy.
Very nice.
Next one.
Let's see if someone else wants to read.
Okay.
Prabhuji, can I read, please?
Yeah, please.
Manusyanam sahesreshu kaschit yati siddhaye yatatmam api siddhanam kaschinmam veti tatvata. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anyone else wants to read?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji is 7.7, right?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Matah parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjayah mayi sarvam idam proktam shutre mani ghana iva. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Namami Damodara Pada Pankajam Karomi Damodara Pujanam Sada Vadami Damodara Nama Nirmalam Smarami Damodara Leela Sundaram. Nama Atma Pradipaya Sakshine Paramatmane Nama Giram Viduraya Manase Chetasam Api. Did anyone try to memorize this verse? Anyone knows? We discussed that yesterday. Can anyone say? I could try. Okay, maybe very soon. I don't want to put anyone on the spot if you don't feel comfortable. But yeah, this is a nice verse. So Gajendra is chanting these wonderful prayers of surrender, Canto 8, Chapter 3. We read till text number 11 yesterday. And all these prayers are very, very deep, full of great helplessness, full of great surrender towards the Lord. That, oh my Lord, you are everything. You're the supreme source. You're the supreme energy. You're the supreme energetic. And I just want to serve you. So let's continue with the next verse, that is text number 12. So let's study this verse, text 12. Namaha Shantaya Ghoraya Muraya Gunadharmine Nirvisheshaya Samyaya Namo Jnana Ghanaya Cha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisance to Lord Vasudeva, who is all-pervading, to the Lord's fierce form as Lord Nrsimhadev, to the Lord's form as an animal, Lord Varadev, to Lord Dattatreya, who preached impersonalism, to Lord Buddha, and to all other incarnations. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord, who has no material qualities, but who accepts the three qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance, within the material world. I also offer my respectful obeisance unto the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Purport. In the previous verses, it has been described that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no material form, He accepts innumerable forms to favor His devotees and to kill the demons. As stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there are so many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that they are like the waves of a river. The waves of a river flow incessantly, and no one can count how many waves are there. Similarly, no one can calculate when and how the different incarnations of the Lord appear according to the necessities of time, place, and candidates. The Lord appears perpetually, as Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in the religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. In the material world, there is always the possibility of deviation from Krishna consciousness, and therefore Krishna and his devotees always act in various forms to curb such godlessness. Even impersonalists who stress the knowledge feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead want to merge in the effulgence of the Lord. Therefore, here the word Jnana Ghanaya indicates that for atheists who believe in the form, who disbelieve in the form and the existence of the Lord, and all these various incarnations appear. Since the Lord comes to teach in so many forms, no one can say that there is no God. The word Jnana Ghanaya is especially used here to refer to those whose knowledge has become solidified by dint of their searching for the Lord through speculative philosophical understanding. Superficial knowledge is useless for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but when one's knowledge becomes extremely intense and deep, one understands Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. A Jnani attains this stage after many, many births. Therefore, the word Jnana Ghanaya is used here. The word Shantaya indicates that the Lord Vasudev is situated in everyone's heart but does not act with the living entity. Impersonalist Jnanis realize Vasudev when they are fully mature in knowledge. Vasudeva samam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So again, this wonderful verse. Let's first try to go word by word because this is very nice. So it talks about the different incarnations of the Lord. So Nama Shantaya. So referring to Nama means I offer my pranams, my namaste, my respectful obeisance unto He who is above all the material qualities and completely peaceful. Shanta. Shanta means peace. Shanti, Shanti. He's the most peaceful. And who is that? He's Lord Vasudeva. Then Shantaya Ghoraya. He is Shanta, at the same time he is very, very Ghora. Ghora means fierce. Narshingadev, the most fearful. So how can one be very, very peaceful and very, very fearful? Yes, Krishna can come in any form based on time, place, and situation. So sometimes he can appear in his peaceful form. Sometimes he can appear in his Ghora form. Nama Shantaya Ghoraya, referring to Lord Narsingha Dev, who appeared as a half man, half lion. And also here to Lord Jamdagni. Who was Jamdagni?
Parshuram.
Parshuram. Yes, he was also very, very fearful. He killed the generations of warrior 18 times. So the Lord can come in his fearful form. Then Mudaya. Mudaya basically refers to animal form. Muda literal meaning is Muda. We discussed Vimuda, Muda Nanu Anupashyati. Animals are generally considered less intelligent. But when Krishna comes as an animal, it's not that he is less intelligent. It's just the word is used to describe that Krishna can come in the animal form as well. Like Kurma avatar, like Hayagriva, like boar incarnation, Varahadev. So, Guna Dharmine, who accepts different qualities, but yet he is Nirguna. So, Nirvisheshaya. So, Nirvisheshaya here refers to Lord Dattatreya, who preached impersonalism. And then also refers to Lord Nirvisheshaya and then Shamaya. Nirvisheshaya Samyaya, sorry, not Shamaya, Samyaya. Samyaya referring to Lord Buddha here, who basically said Sama. Sama means just be kind of void, to do nothing. Somehow, equipoised. Don't kill, don't do this, don't do good, don't do bad, just Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So So basically wherein he said that material qualities stop, nirvana. Namo Jnana Ghanaya. Again, Nama is coming again. Jnana Ghanaya, who is knowledge or the impersonal Brahman. So these adjectives are used to describe the Lord and his various incarnations. It's not that Lord has only 10 incarnations. The Dashavtar is used, and many people are familiar with that. But it's not that Lord has only 10 incarnations. Lord has, Prabhupada is giving the analogy here, like waves. Can we count the number of waves? We can't count. They're infinite. So are the incarnations of the Lord. And he can appear in any form, in any, um, either directly, indirectly through his devotees, etc., to protect the devotees, to reestablish the principles of religion based on time, place, and situations. He can appear in different aspects. But understanding that Lord Vasudev Sarvamiti, he is the sum and bonum, that person is very, very rare. So we should give up our jnana and trying to understand Krishna through mental faculties or our own tiny intelligence, because he is Vibhu. We are infinitesimal. He is infinite. We can't understand the infinite through our infinitesimal intelligence. How can we understand? Through the process of bhakti. Any other comments? Anyone has any additions or questions? Okay, would someone like to read next verse, text number 13? So, one or two devotees can read. It's a longer purport. Anyone wants to start? The first paragraph was not read. It's the last day of the week. Especially if you have not read throughout the week, please raise your hand.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, if you could read the first paragraph and then Raghu Prabhu can complete.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text starting. Chatra Gana Namastubham Sarva Dakshayo Shakshine Purushatma Mullaya Mulo Prokritaya Nama. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Joy. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the Super Soul, the superintendent of everything, and the witness of all that occurs. You are the Supreme Person, the origin of material nature and of the total material energy. You are also the owner of the material body. Therefore, you are the Supreme Complete. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 13.3, the Lord says, Kshetra Gano Chapi Mam Vidhi Sarva Kshetrishu Bharata. O son of Bharat, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. Every one of us is thinking, I am this body or this is my body, but actually the truth is different. Our bodies are given to us by the supreme proprietor, the living entity who is also Kshetragna or knower of the body. He is not the body's only proprietor. The actual property of the body is the supreme personality of Godhead, who is the supreme Kshetragna. For example, we may rent and occupy a house, but actually the owner of the house is the landlord. Similarly, we may be allotted a certain type of body as a facility with which to enjoy this material world, but the actual proprietor of the body is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is called Sarva Dakshaya because everything in the material world works under his supervision. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, wherein the Lord says, Maya Dakshana Prakriti Shuyati Saracharacharam. This material nature working under my direction, O son of Kunti, is producing all moving and unmoving beings. From Prakriti or material nature come so many varieties of living entities, including aquatics, plants, trees, insects, birds, animals, human beings, and demigods. Prakriti is the mother, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the father. Aham Bija Pradho Pita. So, Gajendra continued his prayer to the Lord and declaring the supremacy of the Lord everywhere. Even that our body that I am telling, this is the owner of the Lord even itself. And even in my, and God is present, the Lord is present in everywhere, and He is a captain. He knows every living entity's danger in and out. But as a Onu, we know only about ourselves. We cannot talk about the other living entities, what is going on in their mind. And Prabhupada given analogy that when you rent a house, actually we are the renting. We are staying there, but the owner is the landlord. So that is a nice analogy. And Krishna also called Sarva Daksha. That means he's the expert on everything. So under him, all the material activities, this material creation working. And in Gita he says, Maya Dakshana Prakriti Shuacha Characharam. So whole metal world is working under his direction through Durga Devi. And all the creations, everything came from the mother, Prakriti, Durga Devi, but Lord is the actual father. Aham Bija Pata Pita. Back to Guruji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Raghu Prabhuji, want to complete?
We are reading from in Bhagavad Gita 14.4 or from there.
Yes.
Prakriti, second paragraph.
Prakriti, okay. Prakriti can give us material bodies, but as spirit souls, we are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.7. Mama vaimam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. The living entity, being part and parcel of God, is not a product of this material world. Therefore, the Lord is described in this verse as Atma Mula, the original source of everything. He is the seed of all existences. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. In Bhagavad Gita 14.4, the Lord says, Sarva Yunesu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavati Ya Tasam Brahma Mahat Yonir Aham Bija Pradapita. It should be understood that all living entities in all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in the material nature, and I am the seed-giving father. Plants, trees, insects, aquatics, demigods, beasts, birds, and all other living entities are sons or parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. But because they're struggling with different mentalities, they have been given different types of bodies. Manas, Sastan, Driyani, Prakritistanis, Karasati. Thus they have become sons of Prakriti or material nature, which is impregnated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every living entity in this material world is struggling for existence, and the only salvation or relief from the cycle of birth and death in the evolutionary process is full surrender. This is indicated by the word Namaha. Offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna. So in this continuation of this verse, we are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Our material bodies from Prakriti, or Prakriti gives us our material bodies. And similarly, all the living entities such as insects, plants, everything, all are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. And depending on our mental capacities or past karma and so on, we are born with different as as different beings or different entities on the earth. And we have to go through the material world struggling for existence, essentially. So to get relief from this or salvation, we have to surrender to the Supreme Lord. That's what I understand from this. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Guru Prabhu and Raghu Prabhuji for reading. So what does Kshetra refer here? What does Kshetra refer? Who would like to say?
Body.
Body.
Body. Very nice. Kshetra refers to body. Kshetra Gyaya. Gya means know, to know. Gyan, right? You talk about Gyan. So Kshetra Gyaya. Who is the knower of the body?
Kṛṣṇa.
Yeah, Kshetra is the body.
Souls, individual souls also knows.
Yes. Individual soul. So yes, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, Krishna talks about the two knowers. One is the individual soul, but the real knower is actually Paramatma. He is the Sarva Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha, who knows the meaning of Adhyaksha? Anyone? Raise your hand.
President.
Nandini Mataji, you said something?
President or main. Chief.
Adhyaksha, yes. Chief.
Principal, Prabhu.
Principal, yes, very nice. Nikant Prabhu wants to say.
Manager.
Manager, okay. All of you
Leader,
said
Prabhu.
this. Huh?
Leader.
Leader, yes. All these are same. Superintendent, leader, supervisor, manager, principal. So who is the Sarva Adhyaksha? Sabka leader kaun? Who is the manager of all managers? Who is the principal of all principals? Who is the Ishvara of all Ishvaras? Who is the supervisor of all supervisors? Is Krishna. Sarva Adhyakshaya. Not just the individual soul is a very tiny knower. Like I know what kind of thoughts are going on in my mind, how my belly is feeling, how my hand is feeling. But I don't know how Vamsivilas Prabhu is feeling, right? He only knows about himself. But Krishna, he knows about everyone. He is the witness. He is the Adhyaksha. Sakshini, again this word is coming. We discussed yesterday in the detail about Sakshi and Sakshi Gopal. He is a witness. Sakshi means witness. So that's how we should try to link verses, and then we'll be able to remember better and relish better. So, Kshetragya Manasastubhyam Namastubhyam. Nama is coming again. In every verse, if you observe, from last 3-4 verses, the word Nama is coming in every second line. That means in one verse, there is twice the word Nama. And what does Nama mean? Nama means surrender. Prabhupada is explaining. Until we surrender unto the Lord, there is no bhakti. Nama does not just mean to sing from the lips. Nama means basically surrender. Nama means I prostrate myself to you, unto your lotus feet. Nama means you are my master, I am your das. All the verses begin with Nama. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya. Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Priyasi. So many words. So, Sarva Adhyaksha Sakshini. Purushaya Atma Mulaya. So what does Mula mean? Who would like to say? Mula. Just the word Mula.
Main.
Main, okay.
Root.
Root. Can anyone tell any words or something, where the word Mula comes? Purushottam month just passed. Yes, Vishal Prabhu wants to say.
Canto 8, Chapter 3, but before text 14, in the purport of text 13, it is right before where they quote Bhagavad Gita 14.4. It says, therefore the Lord is described in this verse as Atma Mula, the original source of everything.
Very nice.
Prabhuji,
That's
first verse. Udavamulam adashakam ashwatam prahuravayam. That one.
yes. Chandansi asya parnani yastam veda savete. I had to give hints to remember, right? Okay, that's fine. We read the first verse of chapter 15 every day. Urdhva Moolam. So there also so Mula means root, or it can also be used as the chief, because what is the root? Root cause is the without the root there is no plant, correct? So without the chief there is no. So Mula again means it's the main thing. It's the main reason. So what is the main? Purushaya Atma Mulaya. So what does that mean? Atma Mulaya. He's the original source. He's the original root of everything. Sarva Karana Karana. Root cause. If we do root cause analysis, who is my father? Who is his father? Who is his father? Who is his father? Who is the ultimate father of all fathers? That's Kṛṣṇa. Purushaya Atma. And he's a Purusha. He's not just some light, or not just some. He's the real master. Then Mula again comes. Mula Prakritye Namaha. Now Prakriti means material nature or nature. Now who is the Mula of Prakriti? Who is the root of Prakriti? Is Purusha Avtaras. And Purusha Avtaras are Shrudakshay, Garbhodakshay, and Karunadakshay Vishnu. And then the Pradhana. Ultimately, where does Prakriti come from? Prakriti comes from Kṛṣṇa. He is the Mula. Energy comes from energetic. So Prakriti is the energy of the Lord. Kṛṣṇa says, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Maya Adhyakshena. I am the Adhyaksha. I am the superintendent of Prakriti. I am the master of Prakriti. Devi Esha Gunamai Mam Maya Duratya. Mam Maya. It is my Maya. It is my energy, Kṛṣṇa is saying. So all these words, now it becomes so simple. So we can understand that. So first Kṛṣṇa is talking, Gajendra is talking about Kshetragya. I offer my pranams to the Kshetragya. Then about he is the witness and the superintendent of all. That's the next aspect. And then the Purusha Atma Mulaya. He is the chief or the root cause of everything, original source. Purusha, the supreme person. That Kṛṣṇa is the supreme person and is the root cause. And then the last line talks about Mula of Prakriti. Mula Prakriti Namaha is the root cause of Prakriti as well. So we should never consider that, oh, I am running my body. Whatever I have is because of my hard work. I'm the Lord. So what will happen if a person is renting an apartment and he feels I'm the master, I'm the Lord? Then he'll probably get punishment. Correct? So because the real Adhyaksha is Kṛṣṇa. So if we obey the rules of the Adhyaksha, the real landlord, who is Kṛṣṇa, no matter we own a house or rent a house, that's secondary. That's just an analogy here. So that means our body is not just my body. It is a property of Kṛṣṇa. And anything in relation to body is also a property of Kṛṣṇa. My body does not belong to me. It belongs to Guru and Kṛṣṇa. So a sincere sadhaka should always have this consciousness. My family my wife, my children, my husband, my home is not just for me to enjoy. And I think yesterday I shared this quote from His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj. I'll read that. Secrets of ideal family life. Remember that our family, house, home, etc. are all Krishna's property. He's the Adhyaksha. And all these have to be engaged in his service. He has very kindly given us all these out of his mercy. And he may take away. Like the landlord may say, hey, now your time is done. I wanted my property back. Correct? He can say that anytime. And he can take away if he pleases, especially when we misutilize. Imagine if the tenant is misutilizing the property of the landlord. Will the landlord be happy? He'll say, Baba, you are misutilizing the property. I made a big mistake by giving you this property. Now, wind up your bags, get out. So Krishna will think, Baba, I gave you this precious human form of life, and you are just doing eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and doing all sorts of nonsense things in this. Wind up. You get an animal body. You don't deserve this good body. You don't deserve this good kshetra. The landlord will say, you go to that low class gutter. You don't deserve to stay in my nice house. So Krishna will say like this. Not because he hates us, because we only want to do wrong things. He say, okay, you want to do, he's very merciful. He said, okay, you want to eat bad things, you want to intoxicate and all. Okay, this body is not designed for this. Let me give you a dog's body. It's nicely designed to chew the flesh, or a tiger's body if you want to eat that. Or if you want to sleep for a long time, let me give you a polar bear's body. Sleep for 6 months. Why are you wasting this body? So the point here is that we should properly understand that Krishna is the real master. So one should be grateful of what we have and engage all these gifts. We should be grateful Krishna has given us these wonderful human body and engage all these gifts. Many people don't have what we have been bestowed with, especially as Krishna conscious servants. We have been given a great blessing of Guru and Krishna's mercy. So we should be always grateful and try to share as well. So that means engaging all these gifts, our body or anything in relation to body, in his service with great devotion and detachment. So very nice example to relate to. Any other comments or any corrections, additions? Okay, let's read one more verse for this week. Anyone who has not read and would like to read, please raise your hand if you haven't read the whole week.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Okay, is there anyone else also who's pending to read? So then we can split that in as many paragraphs. Okay. So Mataji, anyone else? I see Vamsilas Prabhu. So this one last call. I want everyone to at least read once this week.
Prabhuji, I could read as well.
You can read as well. Okay, so these 4 devotees will read. So Lakshmi Mataji, you can read the translation and the verse. And then Kesi Mataji, you can read after that, after like the purport, a portion of the purport, and then we'll see. So first Lakshmi Mataji can read the verse and the translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Text 14. Sarvendriya gunadrashtre sarva pratyaya hetave ashata chaya yoktaya sad abhyashyate namaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My Lord, you are the observer of all the objectives of the senses. Without your mercy, there is no possibility of solving the problem of doubts. The material world is just like a shadow resembling you. Indeed, one accepts this material world as real because it gives a glimpse of your existence. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes, Kesi Mataji, you want to read the first
Purport.
paragraph?
To paraphrase this verse, the objectives of sensual activities are actually observed by you. Without your direction, the living entity cannot take even a step forward. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Sarvyasya chakram kirya samanasta matta smirta jnanam aponam ka. You are situated in everyone's heart, and only from you come remembrance and forgetfulness. Chatya yasya bhuvandi Verharti Durga, the living entity under the clutches of Maya, wants to enjoy this material world. But unless you give him directions and remind him, he cannot make progress in pursuing his shadowy objective in life. The conditioned soul wrongly progresses toward the wrong objective, life after life, and he is reminded of that objective by you. In one life, the conditioned soul desires to progress toward a certain objective, but after his body changes, he forgets everything. Nonetheless, my Lord, because he wanted to enjoy something of this world, you remind him of this in his next birth. Myatta smirta jnanam apotam ka, because the conditioned soul wants to forget you. By your grace, you give him opportunities, life after life, by which he can almost perpetually forget you. Therefore, you are eternally the director of the conditioned souls. It is because you are the original cause of everything that everything appears real. The ultimate reality is your Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Silastra, you want to complete?
Dandavat Pranam, everyone. The word Sarva Parityaya Hetave is explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, who says that a result gives one a glimpse of its cause. For example, since an earthen pot is the result of the actions of a potter, by seeing the earthen pot, one can guess at the existence of the potter. Similarly, this material world resembles the spiritual world, and any intelligent person can guess how it is acting. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. The activities of the material world suggest that behind them is the superintendence of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So this part of the purport is telling us how if we see a creation, there is a creator. And if there is a good picture, then it cannot be self-manifest. Somebody created it. So similarly, if we see the wonderful creation of the Lord, we know that the creator is the Supreme Lord himself. So a question might come, if everything requires a creator, then who created God? So the answer is it's a supreme source, and that he is eternal. We are part and parcels of him. We are eternal too, but infinitesimal. But the material world is temporary. It is created and annihilated. So anything material has an expiry date, and so anything material you see is created. Somebody has to create the material world, and that is the Supreme Lord himself. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Silas Prabhu, Kesi Mataji, and Lakshmi Mataji for so nicely reading. So let's go a little word by word. Sarva Indriya Guna Drishte. So Indriya means senses, Sarva means all, Guna means qualities. So unto the seer of all objectives pursued by the senses. Drishta means see, darshana. Sarva pratyaya hetavi. This is very interesting. Prabhupada is explaining that he is the solution to all doubts or all difficulties. He is the one who can help us in all the challenges. And the famous example is in the Bhagavad Gita, that how Arjuna is in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, that is chapter 1, is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. That means he is all confused, morose, stressed, depressed, oppressed. And finally says, just gives up. I don't want to fight. And crying. Ashru. Tears are flowing. But then when he takes shelter. So first in the first chapter, Arjuna analyzes the situation by his own effort. The outcome was depression, confusion, lamentation. But then when he takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa, then the outcome was Nashta Moha Smritir Labdva. His doubt was gone and intelligence was restored. So that's the idea when one takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa and his bona fide devotees. Asata Chaya. So Chaya refers to the shadow. Material world is like the shadow. We discuss in the chapter 15. Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakha. This material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. It should help us to go back to the real substance that is back home, back to God, its spiritual world. Because if one tries to find happiness in the chaya or reflection, we have heard this famous story, like there's a mango tree and the person is trying to eat the mangoes by jumping in the lake. He can see the mangoes in the lake. Will be able to enjoy the mangoes by jumping in the lake? Never, because that is not the real thing. It's resembles. It appears that yes, I will be able to enjoy in the material world. It appears that okay, at some point I'll be so happy in this world if I get this X thing. Then we get that X thing, then we need the Y thing. Then when we get the Y thing, then we need the Z thing. There is no end to it. It appears like that. So because it's a shadow, it's not. So until one takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa, and that is the sum and substance of human form of life. The conditioned soul progresses towards a wrong objective, life after life. And he is reminded of that objective by you. So, and when the conditioned soul desires to progress towards a certain objective, he forgets everything. So, the famous prayers of the child in the womb prays that I'll take shelter of you, my Lord. But the material nature is so strong that one forgets the real objective of life and again keeps moving. So, but if one is sincere, Kṛṣṇa will give the intelligence, Kṛṣṇa will send the right spiritual master, the right devotees, the right shastras, and one will be able to perfect one's life. And that's why we are all here. Any comments, any additions, questions? Anything before we end today?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
When we read the purport and if we see the line number 5, it says, fourth, the living entity under the clutches of Maya wants to enjoy this material world. But unless you give him directions and remind him, he cannot make progress in pursuing his shadowy object in life. So Prabhuji, here, shadowy object is like remembering God, Krishna. Is this what they want to say?
The shadowy objective is not actually uh, even to pursue mundane objectives. As far as my limited understanding, the shadowy objective is even material objectives. Krishna says that if one wants to take shelter of someone else, I give the intelligence by which they can serve them. Talks about the demigods. I give them the intelligence by which they can serve them, or they can approach them, or even one wants to serve ghost, or take shelter of ghost. Or so these are the shadowy objectives. Then if Krishna would, if Prabhupada would have been referring here to the real objective, then the word shadowy is like Krishna is clear as sun. So the word shadowy, the adjective shadowy, is referring to material objectives or anything less than pure bhakti.
For that also they need the intelligence by Krishna to even to perform those kind of activities. This is what they want to say, right?
Yes, a leaf cannot move without Krishna's sanction.
Krishna's. I got it. Thank you.
What to speak of one getting materially wealthy or doing anything. Now the question may come, then why does the Lord give them that intelligence? Right? Why doesn't the Lord give them the right intelligence so that they cannot take shadowy objectives, they can take the true objective? Right? This question may come. Does the question make sense? Right, Vishal? Is that making sense to you? What do you think? Anyone would like to answer? Why is the Lord giving them the intelligence so they can pursue the shadowy objectives? Why doesn't the Lord give them the true intelligence?
Touches of Maya. We are all caught.
Yeah.
Because
Vishal.
they are interested in that. So they will be
Lord
satisfied.
will give you whatever you ask for, whatever it may be. But if you desire to come closer to the Lord, that is what the Lord will give you. But if you desire material things, the Lord will give you that as well.
Yes, but that's the whole question. That's why the Lord gives them the shadowy objective. Is, as you rightly mentioned, because they desire that. And Rakesh Prabhu also, when they are interested in that or desire that. Now the next question may come. Well, can't the Lord force their desires to be rightly dovetailed? No, He will not do that because love is not forced. Right? Love is not forced. Bhakti is not forced. So we can only inspire. The Lord can inspire. The Lord wants His children to do the right thing. The Lord inspires through devotees, through Shastra, through multiple ways, but the Lord will never force because it is one's choice. Okay, so tomorrow and day after, two very important.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a small doubt, Prabhuji. The
Yes,
same
please.
way in the purport, the three lines like, because the conditioned soul wants to forget you, by your grace you give him opportunities, life after life, by which he can almost perpetually forget you. So he, by his grace, he gives the opportunity to forget him. Like, I didn't understand that.
Let me read. Which line are you reading?
Like in the first paragraph, after Mataha Smatarnyanam Apohanam cha, because the conditioned soul wants to forget you. By your grace, you give him opportunities. So by your grace, you give him opportunities, life after life, by which he can almost perpetually forget you. So is forgetting him, by his grace, we forget him.
Yes, same answer, that nothing without happens without His grace. Ultimately, everything is happening. It's not that the Lord wants; it's wants that to happen. The Lord is not happy in when the conditioned soul glides to the material world or keeps, or the impression of Maya gets deeper and deeper. Krishna is not happy to see that. Of course, he is always happy. But what to do? What to do?
Like we
It's not.
say, like Prabhuji, like a father and son, he's a father, seed-giving father. So in practical life, no father wants his son to forget him, right? He doesn't does anything so that the son is going to forget him. So we are discussing, or we're comparing Krishna and living entities as father and son. So like how with the grace, like with his mercy, we are going to forget him.
Like, okay, you can take this example, like the father will try to explain through multiple, he has given his shastras, he has sent his devotees, he has sent the different aspects of bhakti. The father is trying to explain to the child, but the child says, no, I know better, you don't know anything. I know what's right for me. The father will again try, but ultimately, what can the father do? If the son is hell-bent upon doing his way, and he feels, I know better than you just stay quiet, then what else can father do? So now, the analogy ends here. Krishna never disowns anyone. I'm just reading this book. Disapprove but not disown. So the father may disapprove of the activities of the child, but the father does not disown the child. So Krishna does not disown us. Then again, out of the natural one species to the other, again human chance is given. Human life is given again out of the 8.4 million after going through that evolutionary cycle. One again has that. After experiencing all that bad karma, it's not that one will never come back to the human form of life. Again, one will come. Again, one will get the opportunity will be there to hear about Krishna. But again, if one has that right to use it, or you lose it. So chances are there. Krishna is giving chances. It's not that but if one is hell-bent upon going in the other direction, then the Lord say, okay, take your time. One day you'll come. Does that?
Prabhuji, can I say something?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, so actually, we learned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam previous cantos that the living entity wants to enjoy this material attractions. They wants to enjoy, and even the demigods wants to enjoy this material world. That's why they again take birth to this material world. So because of this, not non-permanent or like temporary happiness, that's why living entity forgets Krishna, right? That way, can we explain?
Because the desire to enjoy?
Yes, that is the reason, like demigods also forget, and also they wants to enjoy and take part in this material world, and then forgets Krishna.
The desire to enjoy is the root cause of suffering. That's right, and that's the cause of forgetfulness. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasakta Nam. One is too attached with Bhoga and Aishwarya, one forgets naturally. So yes. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're already over time, but you're all very kind souls, so you'll forgive me. So we'll continue tomorrow. Damodar Leela by His Grace Prashant Mukund Prabhu. And then on Sunday, the appearance of Radha Kund. It's the day of Baulashtami, Sunday by Pran Govind Prabhu. So please join, encourage your friends, well-wishers, enemies to join as well. So to get the maximum mercy in this month of Damodara. And please inspire others also to offer lamps. That's very, very recommended by all these shastras. Okay, Granthāraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai, Shri Damodar
Jai.
Bhagwan
Jai.
ki jai, Shri Kartik
Jai.
Mas ki
Jai.
jai,
Jai.
Samaveta
Jai.
Gaur
Jai.
Bhaktavind ki jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Gauraj
Krishna.
Prabhuji ki jai.
Sakalpatarubhyascha
Jai.
kripasindhubhyam cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.